Welcome to Turn Writing Fear Around podcast. Simple methods to overcome fear and start writing again. I'm Elise Hittinger, and I'm the host for your journey to courage. This is episode 49, The Panic Button. I had somebody tell me that to really understand a horse and being with that horse and being ready to ride that horse, that while I was still on the ground, I needed to trigger a panic attack in the horse and see its reactions. And I thought, well, that's kind of odd. I've never heard that before. But I tried it. And in a safe environment, I escalated so that I could see Teika. This is when I was working with Teika. And she was just so good at everything. But I made it so that she bolted. And I could see how she reacted. I could see how much it took for her to react. And that really gave me some confidence. And then we played with it. So then we would go faster and then we'd go slower, all with me on the ground so that I felt safe. But it really got me to thinking about a panic button for us, for the writers. How many times do we really take ourselves to that panic level and then calm back down? Do we practice that? I hadn't. And I can tell you, since I've been practicing it with the horses, it's made a huge difference in my confidence because I can see them panic and I can see them come back and I can see them quiet and I can see them calm. And so I started doing that with me. And I don't have to do it physically because guess what? Your mind is pretty powerful. But I can go back. When I was a kid, I was riding my pony and I had a mountain lion jump off a cliff onto her tail. Just missed her butt. I was about 9, maybe. And that's probably the only time I hung on to her all the way home because I was convinced if I fell off, I was going to be eaten by a mountain lion. I was out there all by myself. And so I can sit on the couch now and I can go back to that panic, that absolute panic, knowing I was going to be eaten by a mountain lion and feel it. And then I can come back down into calm. So I kind of went through and looked at with my writing, what are my panic triggers? Well, first of all, for me, it's rearing. But it starts before that. The trigger is when the horse is a little anxious and a little tense. I can feel some tension in the horse. And they start to raise their head. That's the panic trigger for me. And so I can work on that. I know that that raising the head comes way before a rear. And I can practice raising the head. I'm calm. I can feel him raise the head. I'm calm. And I can do it sitting on the couch. And I can even go so far now as to feeling that horse rear. I've felt it a number of times, and I can be calm while it's happening. I can slow time down and be there for the horse. And I know that when they rear, you just gently make it so that when they come down, they're slightly off balance, not a lot, just slightly, and move them out of it. So I've got the tools now, but it took practice. It took mental practice to gain those tools. And so what I'd like for you to think about is, what are your panic triggers? What can you do to practice in a safe environment, getting into that panic state and then coming back out of it? And then I like to think of it as the panic button. If that panic thing were to happen, What can you do to alleviate it? What can you do to stay thinking in the middle of what causes you to panic? And I call that my panic button. So when the horse rears, I can think about left rein. Left rein is my panic button, or I guess you could call it your safety button, but for me, it's the panic button because I know that if I've got that button, I can be calm, I can think, I know what to do, and it's not so scary anymore. It gives me confidence. So I'd love for you to think about what are your panic triggers. I'd love for you to practice the panic, practice coming back down to calm. And I'd love you to get to the point that the real true panic situation, you can come out of it. You know what you're going to do. You know how you're going to do it. You've got everything in place, and it will give you so much confidence. And again, if you'd like a little extra help with this, I'd love to offer you a hypnotherapy session. And that just takes the little edge off, and we can reset to before the panic and help you with slowing down the time and really having your confidence back. See you all later.